Lord BAMF, the sensational freak, James Papadopoulos, Jimmy Rocket, aka anything else. And of course, the only.
Unapologetically Deon.
All right.
The big nut in your mouth.
Big nut in your mouth, Deon. All
Left,
right.
preferably.
All right. And we're having some drinks here. No names. No names today.
No names until you start doling out money and becoming a sponsor.
All right. That's good.
Very good.
All right. What are we doing today? We're doing.
Saturday morning cartoon.
Hold on. Try it again. Ready, go.
Saturday morning cartoon.
All right. All right. So we're gonna bounce off from 80s to 90s, or go through the 80s first.
We'll go through the 80s first.
All right, 80s. We're starting with Thundar the Barbarian.
I have no idea what the fuck that is.
I remember that one. They
Never
called
watched.
it. They called it like a knockoff of He-Man because it was some dude or.
That's what it sounds like. It
Yeah.
literally sounds like a knockoff of He-Man.
It was cool though. I remember watching it though. It was all right. Oh, here we go. Was this 80s? I thought it was 90s, but it came up here in the 80s. The Super Mario Brothers Super Show.
Oh yeah, no. That's definitely 80s.
I remember
Yeah.
when that premiered. Everybody was glued to their TV.
Of course, because
Every-
Nintendo came out in the 80s and it was like the greatest discovery. It shitted on Atari in ways you can't imagine.
It was, and then all of a sudden it was on TV. Besides from playing it on TV, your games, then you're watching the cartoon, because it was. I remember it was a whole show as well. It was like a live show.
Oh
and,
yeah.
and it would like go between cartoons and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, I remember that one. That was a good one. All right. Oh, of course, G.I. Joe,
The real American hero.
Dun, 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 dun. Yes, definitely.
We all learned the simple phrase from that show. Knowing is half the battle.
Knowing is half the battle, and they always had good lessons in it at the end.
Exactly. They taught you some shit, something real, not what you see in today.
That has a lot to do with how we
raise, yeah.
how we are now.
Because you got to remember that night. They say that 75% of what you learn comes from your home. When you are at home, you're not always being taught by your parents. You're being
Right.
taught by your environment, and television played a big role in a lot of people's lives.
And you had all these dudes in the service, doing good things, great things, and then ending it with a morale boost there at the end,
Yep.
and finishing with that famous line, "And knowing is half the battle," like you said. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. What's next? Oh yeah, this one was a giant. This was definitely a giant. Voltron.
Oh my God, this was one of the greatest cartoons ever made. People don't even respect Voltron enough. What people don't understand is Voltron was the antithesis of Power Rangers. There would be no Power Rangers without Voltron.
That makes sense.
When
yeah.
you look at the story of the Power Rangers, when you look at how the Power Rangers come together, the only difference they did was instead of all lions, they just had different animals. That's it. But Voltron was one of the greatest shows ever that will live on in infamy. I love that show. Like that was definitely a very big part of my childhood.
Is that on anything right now? Like any streaming?
I think you can find it if Boomerang still exists.
Oh,
It'll
I
probably
love
be there.
Boomerang, dude.
Boomerang always has all of the Triple OG shows.
I remember when
Every
I
last
first
one of
seen
them.
it on cable the last time we had it,
Yeah.
because there was like shit shows, right? So I canceled it. But when I seen it come on, I was like, what? No. But anyway, Voltron.
Voltron, one of the greatest shows ever.
And who would you choose between Voltron and Power Rangers?
Oh, Voltron, automatically.
Who would win, Voltron or Megazord?
Voltron.
Voltron, man. I don't know.
Voltron would kick Megazord's ass.
What else did Voltron have? He had his big ass.
He had his so Voltron came together. He still had his own. He could do any and everything he wanted, but the minute he formed that sword, your ass was grass.
That sword, huh? That it had like a prong tip on it or something.
Oh man, bro! Like, I can tell you that sword would cut through galaxies. That's how dope that was.
And then he had the chomp. of the what was it? Lions or tigers?
Lions. They were
Lions
all
at the
lions.
feet and hands. Man, that's
Feet and
awesome.
hands.
I remember watching it, but I don't remember too much of it. I remember buying. Well, not buying. I remember my mom buying us the figure at a swap meet, but it was like a knockoff. But we were like more than happy, you know.
Hey man, look,
We're
when
like,
we were
yeah,
because
we
when
got
we were kids,
Voltron.
we were taught to be grateful. Because I would tell you right now, you know what happened when we were ungrateful? Well, don't get shit then. You know what happened when we went to the table and we said, I don't want to eat this. Well, don't eat then.
Yeah,
You go to bed starving. There was no, oh, well, let me see what you like to make. Let's make you something for yourself. We didn't have those luxuries. It was, you eat what the hell you are given or you don't eat at all.
mm-hmm.
And if you complain about it, there was one or two things. You starved or you possibly got beat. I mean, it is what it is. Builds character.
Like a kindergarten teacher said, you get what you get, and you don't throw a fit.
Exactly.
Moving on. All right. Oh no, here's another. It's like they all came back to back legends. Thunder,
Thunder.
Thunder,
Thundercats.
Ho!
Ho!
Oh man, that
Oh,
was awesome.
that is,
The intro was badass.
bro, like, and the coldest thing was every character you were met. Chitara was a beast. She was fast. She had her bow. She'd break you off. Lionel was the leader, but he was young and ignorant in the beginning. But he just grew into being one of the greatest
A
leaders of
great
all
leader.
time.
Yeah, yeah.
And you had the right people around him. Panthro, people out there, yes, Panthro's voice, the guy who voiced him, is black. 100% facts. Don't believe me? Look it up. Panthro was black. And you could just tell by his voice and the way he acted in the show. And then you had Tigra.
Really?
Yeah, man. Like, Panthro did black people shit, man. Like, he was always fixing some shit. He was always thinking out the box.
I don't remember, but here's the thing: I was always busy checking out what's the chick?
Chitara.
Oh man,
She was hot.
I think that's when
She
I
was.
discovered like
Hey man, look, people back in the day,
I didn't know what was happening to me when I was watching her. I was like, ah.
Man, they made the cartoons. They made these female cartoon characters just sexy and not voluptuous, but as curvaceous.
But they
as
were
you
bad,
could think
dude.
of.
They were badass.
They're badass, man. Thundercats is one of the greatest shows ever, man. If you have Hulu, you can still watch
That's on
Thundercats
Hulu?
every episode.
All right, well that's cool. Oh, okay. Is it number one, number two? I don't know, but of course, the Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters was a good show, but I ain't gonna give it number 2. I'm not even gonna give it number 1. I'll give it like top 5, top 10.
It was good.
It was good, but it wasn't like that. Like not for me, not for my
Although
taste.
there were like 3 episodes that scared the crap out of me because they actually like zoned into the scary part.
Okay, which ones?
I remember one was the Boogeyman,
Okay.
and I think the other one was what was it called? But it's like everything is in reverse. They're the ghosts, and then the ghosts are the busters.
Oh wow. Okay.
But
Man.
they just drew them gnarly with like an eyeball hanging out and all kinds of. I remember watching it, and it scared the shit out of me, and I was like, "What the fuck? Oh my god!"
Yeah.
I was probably what, like 7,
Crazy.
but it worked. Oh yeah, here we go. I remember watching it. It was cool. It was hip. Um, all the girls talked about it. Jam, jam, jam in the whatevers.
Nope. No
No?
recollection of that one.
All right, moving on. But it was cool. It was fun.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, watching it with my cousins. I remember that. All right, Silver Hawks. That's a good one.
Let me see.
Silver Hawks. It was kind of like
it rings a bell. It was like
it was like Thundercats, but there were eagles, and
Yeah.
hawks, and all kind of flying animals in space.
Yeah, I don't think that one lasted very long.
There was one dude with a guitar that was just badass, and he sticks out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, of course. I gotta put on the effects for this one.
Oh yeah.
He-Man and the Masters of
Of
the
the
Universe.
Oh man.
Oh,
He-Man, Battle Cat, She-Ra, Skeletor.
He-Man, all right, for me, He-Man definitely goes at number one. That because so many memories of that
Yeah.
time.
I kid you not. I had the He-Man everything. Shirt, underwear, lunchbox, you name it, I had it.
Was it the what the Underoos?
Yeah.
The Underoos, right?
Yeah, exactly. So that's an honorable mention for Robert Downey Jr., aka Tony Stark, aka Iron Man, when you heard him yell out "Underoos" in the Avengers movie.
Yeah,
Telling you
not too many people know what
that
Underoos are.
Underoos. That's what it meant, man. It was
So
He Man.
Underoos were pretty much um a shirt, I believe. Was it a shirt and a pair of underwear?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah. See, so
for kids.
for me, honestly, He Man has to come in at two. Thundercats was always number one, man.
I remember.
Lion-O, man. Lion-O was my guy.
Yeah, I just have so many memories as a kid, and then going to the store and all that. So
Mm-hmm.
He-Man, and then I sat in front of that TV, just plastered on there, nonstop.
And then when the movie came out with Dolph Lundgren, like,
I don't. I remember I watched it, but I don't remember anything about it.
so you had Dolph Lundgren, he was He-Man.
Yeah, and which
You
he
had
he fit the role perfectly.
he fit the role
But
perfect.
he didn't have anything that He-Man had on. Like it was just
No,
like
it was just different.
this black leather
Yeah.
thing, and then a blaster.
Yeah. And then you didn't have Battle Cat, which kind of sucked that he wasn't there in the movie because Battle Cat was actually a ridiculously huge part of the
Yeah.
storyline in the cartoon.
I remember Man at Arms was in it,
Master at Arms.
but he had the mustache, I believe.
Yeah,
That's
he had
it.
it.
That,
Yeah,
that's all.
that's literally it. Yeah.
Yeah. They always ruin it in the movies, at least back then, because he
Mhm.
also did the Punisher, and it was a good movie. But I remember what ruined it for me was he didn't even have the skull on. He just had a black shirt on.
Yeah, and that's not gonna work. If you're the Punisher, you gotta have the skull.
But
It doesn't
he
work.
did a great Punisher though.
Yep.
All right. Oh yes, of course. Another one, a classic. Teenage Mutant
Ninja
Ninja
Turtles,
Turtles.
Teenage
This is more
Mutant
like in the
Ninja
teens. It came out
Turtles.
perfectly. Yeah,
Oh
teens and
yeah,
teens.
Turtles in a half shell, turtle
Turtle
power.
power, man, all the way.
Man, I literally still have to this day a sheet that is full on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and I will never let go of it. It holds so much sentimental value to me.
What year?
Literally.
What year? Is it from back then?
Oh yeah, no. It's from the
Oh,
'80s. It's
oh
definitely from
man,
the '80s. That thing, yeah.
that's a
I'm pretty
collectible
sure.
now.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure if I put that fucker up on eBay, man, somebody would
Bought,
pay
sold, boom.
a nice little chunk of change for it. But I
Yeah.
mean, fuck, I wouldn't give that away for anything, man. That thing was, it's great.
And then when the first movie came out, that just blew everyone's mind, man.
Hmm. And
Uh,
then, no, quick side note on the first movie, that stuntman was the same dude. If you ever watched a movie called The Last Dragon, uh, it was one of Barry Gordy. It was Barry Gordy's first movie. It
was
got
it?
the worst reviews ever. Nobody liked it, but it is a cult classic. The little Asian kid in that movie that's doing the karate.
What's his
That
name?
is every single Ninja Turtle. He is the stuntman for every Ninja Turtle.
Well, he was all of them, wasn't he?
He was
He was
all
all
of
of them, and I think Shredder as well.
No, there
No?
was someone else that was Shredder because he wasn't tall enough. So but he played every single Ninja Turtle as far as being in those suits and whatnot. He was even in Rush Hour.
Yeah.
He was running, and then when
he
he
was
got out,
also the
I think it was
kid,
Rush Hour 2.
the Kid Emperor in Red Sonja, right?
Yep.
That's him.
Yep.
And what else can we add to that? Oh, who played Shredder that no one knew? Kevin Nash in Return of the U in Secret of the Ooze.
Secret of the
He was the Super Shredder. Remember
he
that?
was Super Shredder. Yeah, because they had to have somebody big,
Huge, yeah.
and huge.
But
yeah,
see, I never
yeah.
knew that till later, and when I found out, I was like,
Pause.
no, what? They should have said that back then, man.
Oh yeah.
All right, let's go on here. Okay, so I passed that one. Oh, here we go. This is real back right here. Inspector Gadget.
Inspector Gadget.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I remember the old cartoons,
Yep.
but I think they like remade it in late 80s.
I believe so, yeah, because Inspector Gadget, I mean, and the premises of Inspector Gadget was He had every gadget you could think of built into his body,
into his body.
but he was always the screw up, and he was always the clumsy one. And actually, the true triple OG of Inspector Gadget was his niece, Penny.
Penny, and then what was the dog's name?
I don't remember the dog's name.
Yeah, that kind of tells you something.
Yeah.
He had everything in him,
He had
but a
everything
freaking
in him,
brain,
but
man.
but his brain was shot. Just dumb as a doorknob. His niece was always fixing shit.
Or was there something more to it? You know, they wanted him. They wanted him to do as he was told with everything he needed in him. Don't think about it. Just do it.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yep.
We're going deep.
That's how they built RoboCop.
Oh, I remember this one. Mask.
No. Maybe I caught an episode or two, but not a lot of memories.
I remember the action figures. They were pretty cool. They were just like cars that would transform into other vehicles. And the figures were like this small, and they had like a huge helmet or a mask.
Okay.
All right, moving on. The Smurfs.
Oh, everybody loved the Smurfs, man. The only weird thing about the Smurfs
Say it. I know what you're gonna say.
It's automatic. How you got all these dudes
a bunch of dudes.
Chick.
All these youngsters.
Smurfette is the only female Smurf, and you got all these dudes.
And one elder.
And one random elder. Papa Smurf, the triple OG of everybody.
See, if they all called him Papa Smurf, did that mean that they were all siblings? So that's why the female Smurf was never tapped?
Nah, bro, somebody had to be knocking that down. I'm sorry. I know you're talking about cartoons, bro, but you gotta think about it, man. In a real world, that many dudes and one chick, she's getting ran through like fucking train.
Yeah, because they all had personalities.
He grumpy.
So where was Horny? You know? Was he behind a tree somewhere?
Hey, look, man. Horny was actually Happy Smurf. The motherfucker was always happy. Happy was.
We can't call him that, Papa Smurf. Let's just call him Happy.
Yeah,
all right.
He's probably taking LSD and everything, bro.
Well, that would be Happy Smurf.
Yeah, Happy Smurf because he's always high. Trippy Smurf.
Trippy Smurf. Weirdo Smurf. If you were a Smurf,
Tweaker Smurf.
Tweakers. That was in another village down there. That's where the shrooms are like.
Exactly. They're growing real tall.
They're growing rampant.
Exactly.
All right. 1986, An American Tail. That was a cartoon or a movie?
No, I thought American Tail was a movie because I remember there's American Tail 5 Goes West, and there was several of those. It was the mouse, right?
Yeah, that mouse.
Yeah. No. That was a movie for me.
Unless if it was like for a moment, a little.
It might have been a little TV show for a moment, but I do remember it being an actual movie. That you could watch.
I remember the movie. That was good. All right. Oh, another legend, another big dog here. The Transformers.
Oh my God!
Generation.
Yeah.
G1.
Like, man, it was the greatest. You wanted to either be an Autobot or a Decepticon. You had to make a choice. And believe me, I see a lot of cars with a Decepticon emblem on the back of their whip, man. Everybody. Some people like Starscream. Mm-hmm. Some people like what was his
Soundwave.
Soundwave.
Soundwave was the best. Man. He spoke with that 80s.
Who was the other guy? Megatron. Everybody said a lot. Hey, look, Calvin Johnson, one of the best receivers in most recent history in football, called himself Megatron. Yeah, think about it. Now, everybody wanted to be an Autobot. There wasn't always a Bumblebee or
well, because the bad guys were actually look cool and had an attitude and had like a character. They weren't just like idiots like most of the He-Man characters.
They weren't followers.
Yeah,
they had their own kind of idea. They followed behind their leader, but at the same time, they all had their own individual reasons for what they did.
All right, what else do we got here? The Littles.
It brings. Let me see.
They're like a bunch of chipmunks.
Oh yeah. That it was like a knockoff Alvin and the Chipmunks. Yeah, I remember
something like that, or a village of chipmunks or rats, or I don't remember it. I mean, I remember it, but I don't remember like
No,
actually
like vaguely.
sitting there watching that.
Yeah, super vague on that one. But yeah, I mean, you got to think about it. Back in the days, the '80s shows, a lot of them were predicated on making animals look like people.
Mm-hmm. All right, moving on. Oh yeah, I remember this one. I actually enjoyed it. Garfield and Friends.
Oh yeah, yeah, you
That
gotta
was
love
fun.
Garfield, man.
The way
Garfield was the laziest, hungriest cat on planet Earth, and he loved doing whatever he wanted to do, and he couldn't. And what was it Odie?
Odie,
Yeah,
the
Odie
dog,
was the
yeah,
dog, and the dog used
and
to
then
always pull
the
him out of his harebrained schemes and stuff like that. But yeah, Garfield was a good show.
yeah, and then what would say was he his uncle? Was he his cousin? What was he? Heathcliff.
Oh, Heathcliff, yeah, man. Everybody remembers Heathcliff. I think Heathcliff was
Were they
just,
related?
it was the same way. It's probably a knockoff of Garfield, man. Like
But I remember I liked Heathcliff. Yeah.
Heathcliff was a good show, but the thing is you ride the gravy train on what's working.
Mm-hmm.
Don't just create a different character with a different different rhyme or reason, and it takes off. It gets you going for a couple of years, depending on how long it actually lasts.
But it worked. I remember liking that one.
Hmm.
All right. Here's another giant, another legend, another big dog. And it's, of course, My Little Pony.
Yeah, ain't
Now,
nobody watching My Little Pony.
for us dudes,
Yeah, we didn't watch My Little Pony,
but
but
it is a giant.
for
'Cause
little girls,
yeah,
My Little Pony was the
it was.
shiznittle bam skippity dam.
It came close with what was it?
Yeah, but any
Barbie.
Barbie
Yeah.
stuff like that. Yeah, no, girls love My
No
Little Pony.
garbage. No, not Garbage Pail Kids. Cabbage Patch
Cabbage
Kids.
Patch Kids.
Yeah.
Oh man, Triple OG. I actually had a Cabbage Patch.
Do you still have it?
Nah, man. After I
Oh
watched, I
man,
kid
you'd
you
be.
not. I used to. I had it.
Yeah.
I only had the Cabbage Patch because my sisters had one, and his name I named him John. And I kid you not, after I watched Chucky, John ass went in the closet, and then after that, I don't remember what the fuck happened to him, but yeah,
Oh, John is somewhere laughing like I could have been. You could have been made some money off me.
that's all right. Look, tell you right now, after I saw Chucky, I didn't want nothing to do with anything. No dolls, no nothing. All right, I don't care what nobody says. If you watched Chucky as a child and you were not terrified, something is deeply wrong with you. Charles Lee Ray was a savage murderer,
Mm-hmm.
and believe you me, I mean the funniest part in that first movie is when she picked him up and she was in the living room and she was like, say something, or I'm gonna throw you in the fire. And he just freaks out. You bitch, you slut! I'll teach you to fuck with me.
Because yeah, he knew that fire was gonna light his
He
ass up.
knew. Yeah, he started to become real. He started to become human because the voodoo man told him basically like, you're getting used to this body. It is what it is.
It kind of makes you wonder. Let's light up the chimney, grab any doll, and say, "You better say something, or I'm gonna throw you in this flame."
Yeah, no, I'm good. I ain't even about to take that chance.
See what happens. All right. Oh, I didn't know this was an '80s one. Okay, The Legend of Zelda. I remember that came out along with the
Very
Super Mario
rare.
Brothers Super Show.
Yeah, I didn't really watch a lot of it. I probably watched maybe one or two. I was more enamored with the actual video game Legend of Zelda
Yeah.
than watching the show. That was the struggles of the Nintendo days where you used to have to put your shirt over the cartridge and blow into it because you didn't want to get spit in there, or you had to take the Q-tip and put some alcohol on it to clean it. You had to like push it into the Nintendo a certain way so it would actually work. Those cartridges were a nightmare, but we lived on them, and it was everything.
The times of the cartridge.
Oh,
Awesome stuff. But you know what? I remember one thing I remember about this cartoon. It was cool. I remember I liked it, but Link was a prick. He was
mm.
like a little punk. I remember he had like this sassy attitude. And I was like, I always wonder, like, what is that really how he is? Why is he talking like that? Because I remember there was this episode where he helps Princess Zelda, something happens, and then he uses like this, well, excuse me, princess. I was like, what the fuck?
I don't care what anyone says. If you have not been on Instagram and seen this voiceover that they have done with Mario, Bowser, and Princess Peach, you gotta see it.
Gotta see it.
Priceless. It's the way that we all think as grown adults Mario would really feel about dealing with Bowser and Peach all the damn time.
Yeah. Well, that's reality. Like, come
Yeah.
on, really?
Yeah. How do you keep getting kidnapped by the same fucking turtle?
Yeah.
Really? Consistently?
All right. Moving on. Oh yeah, of course. Is that what it's called? Rainbow Bright.
Oh my god, that
Was
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 like
wasn't that another giant for the
hell yeah. That
for
was
the
a
girls?
huge show.
That's
But Rainbow,
that's the little one with the stockings that were like rolled up, right?
yeah, yeah, man. Rainbow Bright was a very, very massive show back in the day, man. Yeah, and back in the day, now there's no offense to anybody in today's time, but back in the day, Rainbow Bright was about those characters. It had nothing to do with the community, none of that stuff. It was literally Rainbow Bright. That's what it was about. It wasn't about nothing else.
All right. I I don't remember watching it. I remember.
I remember knowing of it, but not watching it.
Yeah, I don't
Hmm.
remember watching that one. All right. The next one is another one. I didn't know this one was an '80s one, but I actually like this one. I remember what the intro was awesome. Cops.
No, I don't remember a
No.
cartoon called Cops. Now I remember the show Cops in the '90s.
No, man, that's
Bad boys,
who doesn't.
what you gonna do?
I remember this one had like this dun 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 dun, and then it would end with the I think the chief. It's crime fighting time. Oh,
Sounds like some old Magnum PI shit.
80s 80s stuff. 80s stuff. It was good though. Oh, this one was fun. I remember this one. I didn't watch it much, but it was fun. Like rarely. Denver, the Last Dinosaur.
Nope, never heard of it.
No, I heard that. Okay, I know this one goes back, but it's coming out here as 80s. Spider-Man and his amazing friends.
Oh yeah,
It
yeah,
was just him, I think Starfire and Iceman.
yeah, yeah.
And
He
they
didn't
would
really
always go,
have a lot of people with
yeah,
him.
that's crazy. His amazing friends, and it's just two people. That's it. I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure he had more.
don't worry, people. We're gonna give you a. This one's gonna set Lord BAMF into the stratosphere because we're gonna have to do one about who is the greatest Marvel character of all time.
Mm,
And believe me, I have some thoughts.
no, man, that's gonna go on for hours, man.
Oh, don't worry. But yeah, that one, yeah, we might
It's
even
gonna
be able to cover
it's
it.
gonna be like a 24-hour
Right.
download onto YouTube.
Man, we might actually have to like put a link out there for people to come in and say their piece, man. Because believe me, I didn't know who my guy is, but
We'll save that.
we'll save that
All right, moving on. Oh yes, I remember this one. I remember when there was gonna premiere, and I remember when the commercials came out. Like, hey kids, stay tuned. It's coming up. Teen Wolf, the cartoons.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. Team with the cartoons, the movie, everything.
That one was. I don't remember much about it, but I
I watched,
remember.
yeah, I
Yeah,
watched a couple of episodes. I couldn't tell you in great detail, but I do remember that it existed, and I remember watching a few episodes.
yeah, I remember that. Teen Wolf. And then here's another one. Galaxy High School.
Mm, nope, that one draws a blank for me. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't remember that either. All right. Oh, yeah. Here's a legend. The character is a legend, but the cartoon. I remember the cartoon was. It was good. It had, you know, Mr. T.
Oh, automatic. You had to roll with Mr. T. You had to roll with the A team. BA Baracus, man. Like yeah, yeah, yeah.
What did the BA stand for? I don't remember.
Badass.
Badass Baracus.
Hmm.
He was that makes sense, yeah. But Mr. T, the cartoon, I remember watching that. I
Yeah.
remember seeing him kick some ass and kind of feeling disappointed
Hmm.
because I thought it was going to be like an action-packed cartoon,
Yeah.
but it was like kids. And then, but the cereal, I remember going out and buying the cereal,
All of that.
begging my mom to get the cereal. She got
Hmm.
the cereal, and then the cereal it was just Captain Crunch.
It pretty much is like yeah. It's always funny because people once again that's jumping on the
That's the
gravy
kids,
train.
the kids.
You already know it's like, hey, I'm just gonna rebrand this as something else, and it's gonna take right off.
We need some
Same
Mr. T
shit.
cereal. Who's gonna lend us the recipe? All right, over here.
We'll just get it from Captain Crunch.
All right, that was fun though. Yeah, Mr. T. All right, what else? Oh, Defenders of the Earth. Defenders.
Nah.
No, no, let me.
No, I know I gave in and I dampened that one with my response.
No, I remember that one, Defenders of the Earth. It was all right. It was a mix of like various heroes from other times and all that. All right, I'm not sure if this is a '80s one, but I thought it was because I thought it was a '90s. But of course, dun, 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 DuckTales.
DuckTales.
Ooh,
Woo.
yeah.
Oh man, yeah, DuckTales. Oh man, that was one of the greatest shows of my childhood. I used to watch it every day.
Every day after
DuckTales,
school,
Darkwing Duck.
Darkwing Duck
Like
was the
it
next
just
one.
man, like Scrooge swimming in his money like it was nothing, knowing if you jumped into a pile of coins like that, you would bust your face wide open.
Yeah.
But in cartoon world, you could do anything.
Well, that's a good thing. It's in the cartoon world, and
Yeah,
that's why they did a lot of that. And then people started complaining. Well, it's a cartoon, you know.
yeah. It's fantasy. That's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah. All right. The 13 Ghosts of Scooby Doo.
I mean, I watched Scooby Doo in general, but 13 Ghosts,
I think that was later
I think it
on.
was later on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I remember hearing Vincent Price on the
hmm
intro, and
One
that
of the greatest voices in movie history ever.
and it got my attention. But then as the cartoon kept on going, it was like, yeah, all right, that's about it though. All right, let's see what we got. Oh, here's a classic, Teddy Ruxpin.
Oh yeah, yep. Definitely remember Teddy Ruxpin. I even had
He,
a Teddy Ruxpin.
you had a Teddy
I
Ruxpin?
had a Teddy Ruxpin.
Dang.
Yeah, yeah. That was a long, long
What
time
was it
ago.
like? What was it like?
It was cool, man, because like it had its little preset things that it would
Yeah.
say and it would do, and it was nice to have, man. And I actually got that
Well, because it
from
was like the first ever
like
animatronic.
animatronic
Yeah.
type doll, yeah.
There
And
was
I got that from a church fair. I got it from a church fair. They were like raffling off stuff, and if you did little favors and stuff for the church, or you cleaned up or whatever, they give you raffle tickets. And that was one of the things I got, and I was shitting on my friends. I was like, I got Teddy Ruxpin, you
man
ain't
a
got
Teddy
nothing.
Ruxpin, man. I remember I wanted one, but it was like way out there in price.
Oh yeah, yeah, they were not cheap. The only way I got that Teddy Ruxpin is because of that raffle. My mom wouldn't have bought that.
And I remember when I first seen one, it was at a friend's house.
Mm.
And the first thing I remember I told him, I was like, man, because he just had it thrown there. Like, it was just like, I was like, oh, yeah, it's a Teddy Ruxpin. He had it in the corner over there. And I remember, man, let's throw this tape inside. Let's see what
Yeah,
it is.
man, let's see what
Let's get him
happens.
going. And he killed it for me. I remember him saying, it's boring. He just talks. But in my head, I was like, but it's
Yeah,
a,
like bro, this is crazy. Like this thing actually
moves.
talks.
It's like
It
having a
moves.
Disneyland character here, you know?
Yeah.
Teddy Ruxpin, everybody. Buy them right now on eBay. They're valuable. Get them now. All right.
Find a fanatic and they'll pay top dollar for it.
Oh, oh, okay. I guess these go with DuckTales. I don't know it was '80s, but here we go. Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers, man.
Oh, hey man, I ain't gonna front you, but I used to watch. I used to think I was both of them Rescue Rangers at the same time. I loved every bit of it, man. Chippendales Rescue
Chip
Rangers.
and
Dale's
Dale
Rescue
Rescue Rangers.
Rangers.
That was a cool intro. I
It
remember I
was. It
liked
was
that
actually
intro,
really
and I had a
cool.
crush on the Gadget.
Mhm. Mhm.
I was like, man, why ain't these two hitting that? What's going on here, man? What's going on here?
It was just always what made '80s TV awkward was there was always like
That
one
one,
female
just
and
one,
a billion guys.
bunch
So
of
it was just
dudes.
always like, how in the heck are all of y'all dudes here with just this one chick? And as you get older, you become an adult. You're like,
Who is she with? Is
who
she with one
she's
of them?
with?
Is she not into them?
Yeah,
Is she related to them, and that's why there's nothing going on?
like it literally.
Is it a secret, and she's hitting everyone behind closed doors, behind the curtain?
And at the end of the day, the cartoon gave off. It showed you how to have a platonic friendship with a female
That's true.
because none of them ever got involved. You didn't see anybody
It
have
was
a
just
love
wholesome
interest.
friendship.
It was just a wholesome friendship. They was out there trying to save the world.
That's true. Yeah. Now that I think about it with my yeah, Oliver and Company,
Oh yeah,
1988.
yeah, yeah. Oliver and Company. I think that was that, but that I don't remember that being a show. I remember it
Is it?
being a movie.
I think that was a movie, but if that was a
It might have
cartoon,
it might have had like a small
like a
run as
little
a cartoon,
yeah, a
but
little.
nothing big. It just wasn't that show.
Oh, and these guys have been around forever, so I guess they're part of the 80s too.
Mm.
Looney Tunes.
Oh my god.
Man,
Who didn't remember Looney
it's
Tunes?
like
This
that's like
is
40s, 30s,
yeah,
40s,
bro.
50s, 60s,
Yeah,
70s.
they
Moving up.
lived in infamy, man. You know, one of the greatest shows of all time. But it's before '80s. I think it's a '60s show. But I love this man because it was how I felt because I was always small growing up. Was Mighty Mouse.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
I
bro.
remember Mighty Mouse being part of the Saturday morning cartoon
Yeah,
lineup.
like Mighty Mouse was like one of the greatest cartoons ever because as a short person, it made you feel big. Like it was like, okay, this is a mouse. This thing is really tiny. And he has no hope against all of the enemies that he faces. But next thing you know, he becomes Mighty Mouse and he can knock anybody out. 50 million times his size. Didn't matter. He was giving you that work.
And I remember one episode he got the chick.
He did.
I remember it
Yeah.
was another female mouse and they were eating spaghetti or something. But
All facts. And he wasn't canceled because of that.
here's here maybe we got to look into because I remember the Mighty Mouse cartoon that I watched reminded me a lot of Ren and Stimpy animation.
Yeah, yeah, sort of. Yeah, because the Ren and Stimpy animation was definitely very, very old school.
It wasn't created
Um,
by the same dude, was it?
I don't
Oh, we're
know.
not created, but redone or maybe.
You never know.
Mighty Mouse. We're gonna look it up right here. We're gonna find this out. We're gonna see what happens. Yeah, see, because that's the old one right there.
Hmm.
That was before us.
Yeah, yeah, that's well before us. And one thing you got to remember, people, Hanna-Barbera had a lock on like cartoons from like the '70s to '80s. Like you would see that after every damn cartoon. It was just insane. But yeah, man, those are some of the greatest '80s cartoons ever. You know.
You know, Hanna Barbera was a legend.
Yep.
They were masters
Hmm.
of what they did,
Oh my gosh.
and they're a company that we need right now to be
Oh, yeah,
around. To
bro,
be around.
and we need the original people that created, and we need the world to stop being so damn sensitive and let things be what they are. We don't need all this extra crap. We just need good old fashioned cartoons that actually reel people in. Like you have to think about it. Look at the world we live in. These kids
It's too
won't
serious
they
now.
won't do
It's too
anything
serious. Like
if it's not on a tablet. If you put something out, everybody has a complaint and everybody wants to cry about it. This is the like see people like us. I kid you not. I'd say probably from about 95 back, we're built different. We are built different.
maybe, yeah, maybe 98 back.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you probably get a little deeper into it, but I'm telling you right now, anybody that grew up from 2000 and forward, it's unfortunate how they built y'all, man. They didn't equip you with everything that you needed because
Well, no, they thought they were equipped with everything, but they
yeah,
were just
but then you
equipped with
grow
like
up. Yeah, but now you grow
crap.
up and everybody is just. There's a comedian out there who said, "If we go to war, we're fucked." He was like, "You could just throw a whole bag of gluten at the troops, and they
Mhm.
just fall out." He literally said he was like, "Man, I want to storm the beach, but I have a shellfish allergy."
And
Okay,
then we're dead.
there was
We're
somebody that actually
gone.
said, you know, I can't get drafted because if they come and try to draft me, I'm just gonna say no. People, draft means you have no choice.
Draft
There
means
is
it's our
no.
asses on the
There is
line.
no.
You need
There.
a fight
Yeah.
or we're done.
Yeah. There is no. Oh, I don't want to go. No, there is no. I don't want to go. There's get your ass out there. Here's this gun. Shoot somebody, and just make sure you don't shoot your own people, dumbass.
Yeah.
That's literally what a draft means. But moving on.
Yeah, but check this out. In 1996, Warner Brothers bought Hanna-Barbera
Mm.
So eventually closing the studio and marketing its properties under the Cartoon Network brand.
Yep.
Which Cartoon Network isn't bad,
Oh yeah.
but that's
Hanna-Barbera was original. And
I think that's something they could have just left it, you know.
you could have.
Leave it alone. I mean,
There's a lot.
they had so many titles under their names, so many titles.
And there's lots of companies that will absorb another company, but let them still live like as who they were, because people get used to that branding, that company, and that's where their loyalty lies. So you buy it and then you change it or you rebrand it and put it into
Or
something you think is better. There are some people that were so loyal, they'll leave. They're not gonna mess with it. They're like, nope, I'm not bothering that. I don't want it because this isn't what I had originally.
yeah, and maybe they still put out a few of their products, you know.
Yeah, here and there, but nothing
But
nothing stuck
if
like
it was still
yeah.
around,
Oh,
it would be, you know.
be greatness.
So here we go, Warner Brothers or whoever owns Warner Brothers and so forth and so on. Bring back Hanna-Barbera. There you go.
Some of the greatest cartoons ever made.
Let's make some money, big money right there, man.
Let's jump out of the '80s real quick. Let's jump into the '90s.
Yeah,
man.
that's it. Cause that was pretty much my whole list there, and
okay. So we got
we're moving on.
We gonna move on to the '90s. So we're gonna start with the
Hold
first.
on. I got this one. Cartoons from the 90s.
There we
All right,
go.
there we go.
Perfect intro. So first one we gonna start with Dexter's Laboratory. Not
Oh.
laboratory, people. Laboratory with DD.
I remember the
Oh,
first
man.
time I seen that cartoon, it blew my mind. I was like,
Greatness.
what?
It was crazy because you just saw this little kid doing his own thing in his lab, and his sister was always fucking with shit, and he didn't like none of it.
Mhm.
But it was crazy, man. Dexter's Laboratory, man. Great show.
If you haven't watched it, watch it. Is
Yeah.
it on anything?
It's on Cartoon Network. If
Perfect.
I'm not mistaken. And this show right here, see, and the other thing was we learned lessons when we watched our cartoons. There were lessons taught to you.
And it wasn't like, duh, let's drop an anchor. I
Yeah.
mean, anvil on somebody. No.
No, it was actual life lessons. And this one actually taught you something. Like this was educational. Magic School Bus. Bro, you could get on that Magic School Bus, go anywhere, learn about geology, learn about history. You can learn about math. You learned all kinds of stuff.
That's the one with the lady, right? With all the kids
Yeah.
and then they would go all over like the
Yeah.
human body.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I remember that.
They did.
I vaguely remember it, but I remember.
Yeah, Magic School Bus was extremely educational. This one right here, Rugrats.
Oh, Rugrats.
Triple OG shit. And the funny thing is now they're coming out and saying that this was all a figment of Angelica's imagination. She dreamt up all of these children with their different personalities and ways, and this was just her.
That's like what is it? Internet spaghetti?
Yeah,
whatever the fuck they call it.
Reddit, whatever the hell. I don't know.
I don't know. It was a great show though. I remember it took a while for it to pick up though, because I remember when it premiered and it was like whatever, and then it would like blew up all of a sudden.
Hey, we're wacky, we're kooky, we're all together crazy. The Animaniacs. Oh, bro.
Animaniacs. I was there when it premiered. I was sitting at Raw Lock Kids 2000's house, and we watched the premiere, and we didn't understand what was going on, but we liked it.
Animaniacs was great. Show took off.
Hello, nurse.
Nerd.
I like using that line, man.
Yeah, man.
I see a hottie. Hello.
See a hot
they don't
chick,
get. They don't
hello,
understand what I'm
nurse.
saying
They
or what I'm
won't know
referring.
it.
But hey,
Yeah. Recess. Recess was a good show.
Yeah.
This one right there. Yeah. Recess was there. I think Recess came around the mid '90s on that one. But yeah,
that's more like a Ballgares era.
Batman the animated series.
Oh,
that was great.
No. And you know what's unfortunate? A lot of the voice actors just passed.
Yeah.
Harley Quinn, Batman. So
Yep.
But that was an amazing show when it came out. That was another one. I remember my sixth grade teacher talking about it all. Wow,
Mm-hmm.
those are the greatest tunes I've
Oh
seen.
yeah.
You guys got to watch it. We were like, what? All right, well, I guess we'll go home and watch. Is that our homework?
Mm-hmm. Tiny Toon Adventures. It was a good show.
That was,
It was short lived. There was only 3 seasons,
it
but it
was
was a good show.
intense, and I liked it. And it was everything that it reminded you that everything is a tune, everything is a
Yeah.
cartoon.
Yep. This next one, every 80s and 90s baby knows this show. It taught us about the environment and
Oh,
how to
I
be
know. Yeah, 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 yeah.
environmentally sound at all times.
Hit me with it.
Give it to me. Captain Planet.
Captain
And
Planet.
he's
He's
our
our
hero.
hero.
Gonna take but lose it down to zero.
Yeah.
Oh man.
That was like the
Captain
first time
Planet,
that
bro.
everyone, hey, wake up. There's an Earth out there. We got to take care of it.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, Captain Planet taught you how to recycle. He made sure you knew what pollution was. Captain Planet was the dude,
Again,
man.
you learn great things from these cartoons. Now
Yeah.
there's, you know,
These things were taught to us. That taught us, hey, be mindful of the environment. Don't litter. Like, you know what I'm saying? Understand these things. Oh man. This right here is one of the best shows ever. Gargoyles.
gargoyles.
Yep. Yep. That was great, man.
That was one of my favorite cartoons.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Gargoyles was
It
awesome.
definitely put me into that gothic mentality.
Oh yeah. Hey, football head.
Hey,
Arnold.
Arnold. Arnold.
Arnold.
Arnold. Hey, Arnold. Yeah, man.
Yeah,
That one was a
man.
good one. A real good one.
Now this next one, I don't know. It's called Freakazoid.
Freakazoid, I remember. It was a wacky one. It was definitely after school, and I remember it would come out with that other cartoon, Ika Mouse,
Ah, yeah. See, that's definitely something I don't remember.
and the Tick.
Oh yeah, yeah. The Tick, man.
But Freakazoid was it was good, but it didn't
Yeah.
get my attention that much.
It literally had 2 seasons, so some of these things only lasted very short. So we had. Oh,
He was too freakish, I guess.
let me tell you this. This show showed me that there's always someone out there with dreams and aspirations of world domination.
Oh,
What are we going to do today, Brian? Same
The-
thing we do every day, Pinky. Try to take over the
The
world.
world.
Pinky and the brain,
Pinky and the
man.
brain.
Oh my God, Brain with his harebrained schemes to try to take over the world. Pinky always screwing some shit up and landing them right back in the same damn spot
Yeah.
they were before.
I remember before they had their cartoon, didn't they premiere with like
They did premiere in the Animaniacs.
Animaniacs?
Yeah.
Like they would have like a little
They
segment,
had little moments.
little moments, and then
Yeah.
that's it. And then they got their moment. Their 15
This show
minutes.
was short lived, but Tailspin. I remember that. It was very, very short lived.
I love Tailspin.
Yeah.
Tailspin.
There's something called Street Sharks. I don't know nothing about
Street
that.
Sharks are legends, man.
Okay.
It was short lived, just along with the
3 seasons. Yeah.
biker mice from Mars or
Mhm.
something.
So, yes, yeah, I didn't know about
Street
that.
Sharks. It was
Oh,
like
this-
it was like Ninja Turtles, but Street Sharks.
This one was Triple OG, Bobby's World.
Bobby's
Yep.
World. That was
Mhm.
fun. Yeah.
Bobby's World. Then we had Sonic the Hedgehog. He had a couple of seasons. He only had 2 seasons, but it was
Yeah, I
like
don't-
it was all right. It wasn't great.
I remember hearing of it, but I never watched it though.
Mm-hmm. Then we had X-Men.
Who didn't? Come on, X-Men. That I remember that was on like for what, Saturday mornings?
Yes, every Saturday morning.
Every
man.
Saturday morning.
Like
and
you
then-
got to watch Jean Grey go through her whole situation with Phoenix and everything.
Yeah,
You understood it. Like whoever wrote that is amazing because the storyline
Well, whoever,
itself.
put it together. And
Yeah,
all that,
like
man.
oh my gosh, that was like just fantastic.
I remember
work.
being pissed when it would end,
yeah,
and then you know how it would say
And then, you know,
previously on X-Men.
Yeah, and
and
then
I'd be
you
like,
have to-
no, what the fuck?
and then you have to go back and watch it again.
I
because
gotta
you're
wait
like,
till next
"Damn,
Saturday.
I gotta wait till next Saturday for this. This is crap. So, the next one up was something called Pirates of Darkwater.
I remember that. I remember that. It was cool, but there wasn't much they could do. I mean, they were out at sea,
Yeah.
and it was dark water. It was like the water was like poisoned, or it had a life of its own, something like that. But it was all right. It wasn't bad. It was all right.
Yeah. Then we had So I guess the movie Hercules actually had 2 seasons of a cartoon. I never watched it. I don't know.
Nope, nothing here.
Darkwing Duck. Everybody remembers
Let's
that.
get dangerous.
Oh man, Darkwing Duck, Triple OG, Spider Man. Spider-Man
Which
had
one? Which one?
this was
It's
just
just
Spider Man.
Spider-Man?
Yeah, it had about 5 seasons. Now this one's curious. I've never seen it. Bump in the Night.
Huh?
Bump in the Night. I've never heard of that. Yeah. Then we
Uh,
had Tom and Jerry Kids. I watched that a little bit.
I remember that.
Yeah.
That jingle was catchy. Tom and Jerry's kids.
Yep. And then you had Goof Troop. Yep.
I remember that. I don't think I watched it.
Short span of time, only lasted 2 seasons. The
Man.
Tick.
The Tick. Yes.
Oh man. You just saw this big muscle bound ass dude running around in blue fucking spandex jumping all over New York and shit. It was funny.
It was. It was like a mature
Yeah, and then this one,
cartoon
I
for.
guess, Captain N and the new Super Mario World. I have no idea what that is.
I remember Captain N, the Game Master,
Mm.
in the 80s. I don't think it was a 90s thing, though.
Yeah, then they had this other show called Reboot, which is trash.
I don't know that.
Tasmania. I don't remember Taz having his own spin-off
Yeah,
show.
man. That was a good one. Come to Tasmania. Come to Tasmania.
Yeah.
Catchy jingle.
And then we have, let's see here. I guess the Little Mermaid had a run with her own TV show.
Really? Wow. I don't
3
remember
seasons, and then we got some other shit about some dinosaurs. One thing called Dog City. I don't know what that.
Nope.
Fievel's American Tales, and only lasted 1 season, but
Nope.
that was based off a movie. I never watched it. Mythic Warriors, Guardians of the Legend. I don't know what that is.
Nope.
Beethoven, never watched it.
Nope.
101 Dalmatians 2, never watched it.
Nope.
Oh yeah, it was a small run, but I don't think I watched. I've probably only watched maybe 1 or 2 episodes. Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventures.
I remember that, but I watched a few episodes.
Yeah, and that's pretty much it.
Speaking of the Bill and Ted's, you know what reminded me of that? I mean, what that reminded me of? You remember the MC Hammer cartoons?
Yeah, of course.
And then along with that came Kid and Play, the cartoons.
Oh yeah. Kid and Play had their own Kid and Play was like the quintessential guys that were like the good dudes. They just wanted to party and have a good time. They wanted to get the crowd hype.
Yeah.
And they could dance their ass off. But I found another one like this, another little list. So I'll see if there's anything on this list that was different. So we actually had Cat Dog it was 1998. I remember Cat Dog.
Do you remember Cat? I don't remember that.
Pingu. I remember that name. Let's see here. What do we got? They already had that one. This was very big for children, but it was Blue's Clues.
Clues. That wasn't my time.
Yeah, by that time, man, I was a teenager. It was in '96.
We were out.
We were a teenager. We was out of that Blue's Clues.
Yeah, we
phase.
were out, man. But anybody, I'm sure if anyone's listening that grew up with that, they're probably cheering their heart out. Blues Clues, yeah.
Oh yeah, they loved it, man.
What was that guy's name? Steve.
Steve, yeah. And then let's see, Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Oh, yes. That was a good one.
With
that
Eustace.
was a real good one.
You gotta love that,
I remember watching that, Tripping Balls, man.
Oh, this one wasn't even mentioned. The Adventures of Tintin. Yeah, man.
That's
old school.
That's way
That's old school. It was 91, 92.
But yeah. I mean, he was even on the strips, like in the newspapers.
Yeah. But those, man, look, that's just the movies. I mean, that's just the TV shows that we grew up, cartoons, watching. Like, and once again, these shows, some of them were strict, like actually educational. You could really learn something from watching them. Honorable mention, Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego?
Oh, you really learned with that one.
You learned all kinds of stuff with that one.
I remember getting frustrated, like, damn, where's this bitch at?
Yeah, you sit there thinking to it, you're like, oh my God, where is she at? And you're looking around.
I gotta wait.
And then they give you like 30 different places this broad could be. And then you're sitting there like, I don't want to. You know what? No,
Where are you, Carmen?
Now I got to figure it out. Now I have to. I have to figure it. Okay, no, she can't be here because it's this. She can't be there because of that. Like there were just so many things that you would see, but
And then the game. Did you ever play
yeah, I played the game a
the
little bit on.
Macintosh game?
Uh
That was horrible. I remember getting frustrated on that one. Like, man, I can't find her, man. Turn this thing off.
huh. Back in the day, man, when you had floppy disk.
Yeah, the floppy disk Macintosh games.
There were not always CDs, and there wasn't always digital stuff. People back in the day, you actually had to have a floppy, and if you had a floppy, that meant you knew some shit. You were
People
really
thought you were smart right away.
People thought you
immediately,
were smart.
like, oh, this
Immediately,
guy's
like, oh, you got a floppy disk? Oh, you really know how to work a computer?
yeah.
You know, people would think you were smart. Now you get a floppy disk, people are like, oh my god,
What is that?
What is that?
What is that?
I don't. That's so ancient. Like,
or is that something new?
right?
Yeah.
They might even think it's something new.
I got something that no one has.
Yeah,
It's
you get
about-
that. You get that one random kid who's like, "Bro, that's so retro. That's a floppy disk. I know what it's for." Floppy disk was how you stored your files. Instead of a USB flash drive, floppy disk was the way you carried your information.
That's true.
It was just that thing, man. And
You just had a big square foldable thing.
right,
Flexible.
and you had to hope and pray you didn't step or snap on or break that thing because it was gone. Your information was shot.
Speaking of floppy, it just reminded me of that one thing I sent you. The
Mhm.
Jetsons.
Oh,
That was a great
I
liked
saw
it.
one. It
I
said
liked
the
it.
Jetsons predicted the future because you had your FaceTime,
Yeah.
you had Zoom meetings, you had all these things. You had internet shopping.
Yeah.
All of that stuff came to fruition later on in
The
life.
Jetsons, man. I think they called it. Because I remember seeing a lot of them cartoons and just being like, what? What's all this?
And then you see George getting ripped off by his wife every single opening. He'd give her $20. She'd take the wallet, or she'd take all the money
and just leave him the lunch money.
and leave him the lunch money.
the lunch money. Hey, but
It
at
was-
least dollar bills, bills was still
Bills were paid, Astro, the dog.
The dog that would be left
Uh-huh.
out on the balcony like thousands of feet above
Yeah,
the
like
ground.
And then I forget, what was it? Mr. Spacely. That was his boss.
His little
his little miniature boss looked like Danny DeVito.
Man. Yeah, like a little. His son, what was his son's name?
Elroy.
Elroy, and then his daughter.
His son, Elroy.
So who was his daughter's name? What was his daughter's name? Because I know he had a daughter too.
Let me
She had the
see.
white hair.
Yeah, she did. Let's see. Look that up right
The
now.
Jetsons. If I'm not mistaken, they pretty much called it, man. All this
Judy.
futuristic.
Judy. So
So it's Elroy.
So we had George Jetson, Judy Jetson, Jane Jetson. Jane was the wife. Judy was the daughter. See, we had Elroy.
So they were all J's, and then it had to be Elroy with an E.
Mhm. And then you had Asteroid. Oh, wow. Mr. Spacely was played by a woman. Woman named Jean Vanderpyle. Huh. Could've
Yeah,
sworn
well,
Mr.
there's-
Spacely was just full on dude. But
There's
believe
great
me,
voice actors out
great
there.
voice actors, man. Some of them are just amazing.
It's like what's his name? He passed away. Uncle Phil from.
Oh yeah.
He
from
did
Fresh
the
Prince.
Shredder in the original Turtles cartoons.
Oh yeah.
He
And
was
then
the
like
Shredder.
one of the greatest voice actors of all time,
And someone else I can't remember.
James Earl Jones.
Yeah.
The voice of Darth Vader.
Darth
Like,
Vader.
I mean, just James Earl Jones' voice in general, bro. Like, that's like the dad you want but don't want, because his voice strikes fear into you.
I am your father. Okay, no, I can't. Luke, I am your father.
Yeah, he sounded like he was gonna let a feather
That
out
sounds.
right there. You gotta dig deep in there.
No, we need that. Hold on, we need the effects on here. All right, ready?
Luke, I am your father.
No.
There it is, exactly. That's what you say. Man, hey, look, man, you ain't my daddy. My daddy dead, all right? I don't know who the fuck you talking to.
You're
or
just
what's
some
going
guy
on.
that chopped my
You
hand
just
off.
some guy
man.
that chopped my damn arm off and shit. Like, come on, bro. How you gonna be my pops but you chop my arm off? That's not love, okay?
He-
Parents
he
don't
was-
chop their
he
kids'
was,
arms off.
he was
They
saying,
threaten to, but they don't actually do
That
it.
was tough love.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And that's going to be one of our other shows that we will definitely get to
Tough
is
love.
tough love
Tough love.
and how we actually grew up and the stuff we got hit with for no damn reason.
Tough love and the things we got hit with. That's on the next one. Uh yeah, that sounds good. I like that.
Yeah, tough love and the shit you got beat with. You know, you got to remember one thing. In today's times, you get time out. We didn't get time out. We got our ass whooped.
Nah, I don't even know. I wonder who created the timeout thing, man.
Man, please. Look, at the end of the day, that's white parenting. Period. Ain't no black parenting, no
Sure as hell.
Hispanic parenting, not even Asian parenting. You take a time out. Go over in the corner, Timmy. Screw you, Mom. Not doing nothing. Then he goes over in the corner and he kicks a hole in the wall. And now you're going, look at that, Timmy. Now I have to get your dad to repair that. Yeah, if we were told to go to timeout and we went over and kicked a hole in our parents' wall, our parents kicked a hole in our ass.
But we never got.
But we never got
yeah,
timeout.
never got asked to go timeout.
We never got that.
The only timeout we had was if we took a break from playing outside.
Exactly. Number one rule. You're not going to be running in and out of my house. You either in or you're out. And with that being said, Lord BAMF.
We're out. All right, everybody, let's jigs it.